Hey y'all, who wants to become a Google certified trainer? Now, if you've come this far, chances are you really want to know exactly what it takes, and I'm going to help answer a lot of those questions in today's video. So today's video will focus on the application itself, everything that's required in order to apply to become a Google certified trainer. And you can learn more about this and get additional resources at becomeagoogletrainer.com. A little bit about me. My name is Casey Bell. I'm a digital learning consultant in the Dallas, Texas area for the Region 10 Education Service Center. I'm also a blogger at Shake Up Learning, and you can find me at Shake Up Learning pretty much across social media. I have 4 Google certifications, level 1, level 2 certified educator. I'm also a certified trainer and a certified innovator. Now, what I tell people that means is really just that I try to keep up with Google as best that I can. So I spend a lot of time learning about Google and trying to help other teachers reach their goals of becoming Google certified. Now, this is actually video 2 in a series, so in case you missed video 1, you can go to becomeagoogletrainer.com and it will be the first video on the page. And I covered the 6 steps, so sort of the overview of the big 6 things that you have to have in order to become a Google certified trainer. But today's video is going to focus on step 6, on the application. So I'm going to break down everything. I'm going to show you exactly what that application looks like, and I'm going to give you some tips on how to answer those questions. Now, the information for the certified trainer can be found in Google's Education Training Center. So that's edutrainingcenter.withgoogle.com. And if you go to certification and then click on certified trainer, you will find Google's official information about that there. What they say is pretty abbreviated, but you will find, a link to the application portal and all of those things, registering for the exam. But I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. So part 1 is to register for an account through the online application portal. And you can get there by going to bit.ly/G, E, T, A, apply there. So be sure that you save your username and password because you will need those again later. You can work through each section and save sections as you go, but you don't actually have to fill this out all at once. You can save it and come back to it. And my advice is to use the Google Doc that I have provided that already has the questions in it to draft your responses. And so I've made a Google Doc. It's at shakeup.link/GET app, capitalized GET and the A there. And that's a document that you can make a copy of. Go to File, Make a Copy, and add that to your drive. And then you can start drafting your responses for the application because it's going to be a lot easier if you draft it, revise it, and then just copy and paste it over. Part 2 of the application is your school and organization details. So, a lot of people ask, do you have to work for a school? No, I don't work for a school. So you put in your name of your school or your organization. Now, notice I have an asterisk by everything that's required. So you can see there's a few things that are not necessarily required, but that are optional there. And that first one is your G Suite domain name. So whatever domain you have at your school usually ends in, .org, .edu, .k12, whatever it is that you use when you go into your G Suite domain. You may not have one, and that's okay. That's why that's optional. You don't have to have one to put that in if your school has not gone Google or if you work somewhere else. You're going to add your job title and your school and organization website if you have one, country, address, city, state, postal code, etc. And then you're going to move on to part 3. This is your training and professional experience. So they're going to ask for what education you have, what degrees, the name of the institutions, how many years of classroom teaching experience you have. So if you're applying and you don't have, any years, then you would put 0 in. But they are looking for people who have not only formal training experience, but have been in education, although it's not necessarily a requirement. So you'll see you do, but they do make that a required question. Formal training experience, number of years, and that really is, how long have you been officially in front of people presenting and training and delivering professional learning about, Google or whatever it is. Maybe it hasn't always been Google, but how many years you have been doing that. And then you're going to list your 5 most recent Google specific trainings. And I get asked this a lot. Does it have to be Google? Yes. They want to see that you are training on Google, G Suite, whatever it is, Google related. And they want to see that in the titles, and they want to see the dates, because they want to know that this is something you are already actively doing, which is part of the reason that I recommend, if you aren't actually at that point yet, you don't apply yet. You got to build that resume. And yes, you can count your coaching sessions, your one-on-one sessions. They don't all have to be in front of a large group. If a current certified trainer referred you, include their name and email. So if I have been a help to you, please add my name and email address into your application, and that can be found on that Google Doc that I gave you at the beginning of this video. And then they're going to ask you if you worked with a Google for Education partner. I am not an official partner. I am just a certified trainer. So, you may have possibly worked with someone else. If so, they're going to tell you. You're going to know. Please state your training goals for the upcoming year. And it's a 100-word limit. And let me tell you, that's kind of difficult. So again, draft it in a Google Doc so that you can revise, edit, and save. Take your time to write something meaningful. Don't rush through this. Are there other certifications you wish to pursue, training or conferences that you would like to present at? What are your student outcomes, the training programs at your school or your organization, directly relating this to the bigger goals or mission of your school would be great. Proofread it, send it to a friend, and get some feedback before you submit that. The next part has to do with all of the certifications. So to be a trainer, you also have to be a level 1 and a level 2 certified educator. So you have to upload your certificate, and you have to pass the trainer skills assessment, and that will also give you a certificate. So you upload those 3 documents, and then optionally you can upload other certification documents if you want to. So that's just an optional there. And then they have what they call the case study. And this is a pretty important part where you are going to share an experience that you have gone through as a trainer. So they want you to think of a program, a training, or a series of training sessions that helped you make an impact. You want this to be focused with evidence, good quality learning materials, and feedback from participants. If you haven't completed anything this in-depth, I recommend that you start planning that for the purposes of this application. So that's something you want to work on if you don't already have that. They're going to ask you some questions about the case study. So what was the focus of your training? You've got 200 words. Make sure it has a G Suite focus. Google totally supports, good pedagogy and helping teachers learn all kinds of ways to use G Suite to support, things like assessment and all of that. But just make sure you make it very clear that it has a G Suite focus. And then you answer the question, what actions did you take to support educators to redefine learning with technology? Please include links to relevant training materials. So this is really important. If they say include links, and make sure this is your best work. Include links to your most beautiful training materials, whether that's in slide, docs, a Google site, whatever it is. This is your chance to show off your hard work, so do it. Thinking of answering that question too, how did you support educators in the goal of redefining learning with technology. So make sure that you show the purpose of that and that it's connected to learning as well. And so draft that in detail, sharing your resource links and how you help teachers redefine learning in the classroom. Next question is, what impact did you have on educators as a result of your training? You must include links to any feedback. So again, asking for links, so be sure you include those links and make sure you share every link, at least anyone with the link can view, if not public. So that's one thing that will catch some people. They forget to do that. Again, if you haven't collected any feedback in your training, then start working on that. Deliver something where you measure your effectiveness by collecting feedback. I recommend that you pre-assess your group and get post-assessment feedback as well. So, use that pre-assessment to find out where they are and to differentiate your training for them. And then you want to get feedback and find out how you can continually improve. And that takes us to the next question. How would you improve the training? What would you have done differently? And so again, this is a focus on a continuous improvement mindset. There is always room for improvement. Lessons learned, what worked, what didn't. If you say that it was perfect, well, you must be way better than I am, because I always think of something that I could improve or do differently. Application video. So you're going to create a trainer video, and let me tell you, this should take some time to plan it, to create it, to edit it, and then to upload it to YouTube. So the video is 3 minutes. In the first minute, you're going to address why you wish to become a Google for Education trainer and what makes you unique and googly. And then in this last 2 minutes, you're going to demonstrate how one Google tool can be applied in the classroom. Now, they really want you to show something that is transformative or that really connects back to the learning. And I encourage you to go advanced on your screencast, and they do want a screencast. So if that's something that you haven't learned how to do yet, this is the time to start learning. There are lots of tools that make that pretty easy. And then you're going to have to put those two videos together. So I do recommend in the first minute that you're on camera. I think that's powerful to show what you look like and to show your personality there. And then you're going to put that together with your screencast. I do have some examples there. There's a shortened link on the slide, but keep in mind those requirements for the video have sort of shifted over the years. So sometimes you'll find that certain parts are longer than others. Don't let that hold you back. I think there's still great examples and things that you can learn from people. Now, all of those examples are people who have not only submitted, but have been accepted as certified trainers. So that is a good example there. And guess what? If you get accepted as a certified trainer, I want to hear from you, and I want you to help me by giving me a link to your video so that I can add that and help other teachers as well. And then you're going to apply. You're going to click that submit button, and it's really hard to do that, but you can apply it anytime throughout the year. Don't worry about that. They do render decisions on a rolling basis. So if you get an email that says you only have like 6 days left or something like that, that's really just to get into the next rolling window. But you can actually click apply anytime you want. Certified trainer candidates should expect to receive notifications anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks from the date of submission. So it kind of depends on when you click submit, and Google doesn't necessarily reveal like their dates, I think, because that kind of shifts, but it's a long wait, and it's hard to wait. That's a lot that you've put on the line, but trust me, it will eventually get that notification. Don't forget to submit everything through the application portal. So when you submit, I want you to double check that everything that is required, all your information is correct. Check all your links. And to do that, do an incognito window in Google Chrome. So Command-Shift-N or Control-Shift-N on your keyboard will open a new incognito window where you're not logged into anything, and that will let you check your links. If you still want to double check, send all your links to a friend and make sure they can view them. And then you're gonna magically submit all of that. The notifications will be sent to the email address that you provided in your application. I recommend that you give a personal email for your application, and mostly I do that because, things change. You could change jobs, and when you do, sometimes you lose complete access to that email, and you may want to go back and see that, or you may need to go in and log in. So just a recommendation. You don't have to. So here's the deal. Everyone doesn't make the cut. This is an elite group, and that's a pretty cool thing to be a part of, but you also don't want it to be something where they just automatically accept everyone because you checked off all the little boxes. So just because you've submitted and you've done all of these things doesn't mean you're going to be accepted. There are, and by the way, this number is completely off now. There's probably closer to 3,000 Google certified trainers in the world now, and this is actually a good thing. This means this is a special group and a great distinction. Now, here are the top reasons that applicants aren't accepted. Number one, they forgot to make their YouTube video viewable to anyone with the link. So, if you want to go ahead and make it public, but at least make it viewable to anyone with the link. And they're not going to tell you exactly what it is that you did. That's the hard part. So if you're not accepted, they don't really give you a lot of feedback on why. The other one is they forgot to share their materials and make them viewable with the link. And then the last one is not enough training experience with Google Apps for Education. So you really have to prove that you know your stuff and that you can deliver at least 12 trainings per year. So what happens if you aren't accepted? Well, you can apply again during any of the subsequent review cycles. There is no waiting period. And don't panic. Lots of trainers do not get accepted on their first try. Consider it a chance to improve. Now, once you're certified, it's not good forever. In fact, you have to maintain your certification each year. That doesn't mean you have to go through the entire process all over again, but they do have some things that they require. You have to conduct and report at least 12 training or coaching sessions per year. They really look at that by quarter. So they want to make sure that you're delivering, at least 3 per quarter. Share ideas and resources with our community of trainers. So you're actually required to share some training materials with the trainer group, which is great because then you also have access to everyone else's. And then you have to resubmit your interest and fill out a Google form at the end of the year. It's usually a little quiz about product updates that have happened just to make sure that you're keeping up with Google. It's not that difficult, but probably the most difficult part is just making sure that you are continually out there training and learning about Google. So I do have an online course that can help you with this entire process. If you go to becomeagoogletrainer.com, you will find more information, more videos, links to some free stuff. And this course is different from what you will find in the training center. My courses are video-based, whereas the training center is mostly just text. There are a few short videos, but with my course, you're going to get several hours with me. This is anytime, anywhere learning, access to the course. It's self-paced. So if you need to go slower, you need to go faster, whatever you want, you can do. You can set your own deadlines. You can connect and learn in a private community. So everyone who is in the course is added to a private Google Plus community. You can learn valuable advice from experienced trainers and have that at your fingertips. I also have tons of downloads, including the Ultimate Planner that I've created for you to plan your entire application, setting dates for yourself and just helping you stay on track. There are exam readiness checklists, reviews, and more. And you will have your very own guide through the exam and the application process. Now, the course does not include the cost of the exam, which is $25. You can take that whenever you are ready and whenever you're ready to submit your application. And of course, I've also got tips, tricks, tutorials, and lots of other goodies in there for you. Now, I'm not going to go into depth on the course, but I did take this screenshot just to give you an idea of how the course is structured. So you can work through each module and the lessons. You can even see how long the lessons are. Most of the ones in this course are anywhere from 15 to 35 minutes long. And so you have a video, you can see sort of the objectives of the lesson. You can also download those videos. So if you don't have good internet, that's an option. There are also, PDF downloads and additional resources and things like that there for you. So, ready for some more? So stay tuned for video 3. I'm going to give you more information on the online course, what's included, and some bonus materials that I am adding to the course. And of course, you can go to becomeagoogletrainer.com to learn even more.